Guys, it's me again, and I am here with our third wreath for Christmas, and I want to get started with you. This is just a wreath that I found the vines. I went for a walk at a park. I took a knife with me because I had the intent on finding the vines that hang down from the trees and using them to wrap around to make a wreath. So this was a free wreath for me. If you don't have anything near you where you can get that, you can use the regular old standard Dollar Tree 16-inch wire wreath form. Or you could go to Hobby Lobby or Michael's or any craft store like that and buy yourself a wooden wreath or willow wreath or whatever you want to call it. What I did was I took the white wreaths that they have at the Dollar Tree. They're just the white branched wreaths. I think I had 4 of those. I just snipped the top of it, unwound it, and just started wrapping it around my wreath. Now, depending on how big of a wreath that you use, you could need more or less. If you use a wreath bigger than this is quite big, if you can see here how big it really is. So that's why I needed about 4 of those for this wreath, and it didn't cover all the spots, but that's okay because we have a lot of stuff that we're going to fill in those spots. If you use the smaller Dollar Tree wreath form, you may need less, maybe only possibly 3 might cover, depending on how full or sparse you want your wreath to be. But that's how I started this. Okay, so that would be the first thing you do. Buy 4 of the white wreaths that they have, snip them, wrap them around your wreath, whatever wreath you chose, wrap them around there, bend them around. Be careful because the ends will be sharp. And then that's going to be the start of our wreath. Okay, so we are going to need a glue gun, some scissors, some ribbon of your choice. I have some silver ribbon right now. I also have some white tulle from Dollar Tree, and I also have from Dollar Tree some glitter ribbon. I have 5 of these willow branches with the it's like ice on it. It's supposed to be, it's all glittery and shiny. I have 1 pick that had the white flocked branches that I pulled apart. Okay, we're only going to need the white branches. It also came with like 2 pine cones that have the little ice crystals on, but we're going to put them on our wreath separately, so I pulled the pick apart. And then I have 3 of the picks that have the berries, the little flocked branches with the white on, the jingle bell, the pine cone, and the cotton. We're going to pull off the cotton. We're not going to use that. And we're not going to use the jingle bell because the other wreath that I did with the Santa Claus had the jingle bells on it. So if you don't know what to do with these jingle bells, you can always go, if you made that wreath, you could always go put them on that wreath. And if you didn't make that wreath, check that wreath out, and that'll give you an idea of where you can put your jingle bells. Also, we have 3 of the, it's just branches, but they look like little berry branches with ice on them again. And then I have 4 of the big berries. They're just berries. These are the really long stemmed ones. And I have 3 bunches of the Queen Anne's lace that is really glittery, although it's not really showing on the camera. It is glittery. Okay, so it would help if I plugged in a hot glue gun, right? Okay, I'm going to plug in my hot glue gun. And I want to try to make this wreath really glittery and shiny and just beautiful. That's my intent here. Whether it will come out that way, we'll see. All right. I'm going to wait for my glue gun to heat up, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have my hot glue gun hot, and I just took my, what is it called? Glitter ribbon, the silver glitter ribbon, and I wrapped it in between the spaces where the white branches were not covering my wreath. And then I also took the diamond wrap and wrap that around my wreath. Now, I can't really tell you how many rolls of ribbon that you're going to need. I did go through 1 entire roll of the glitter ribbon and a little tiny bit of another roll, and I did use about 2 rolls of the glitter diamond wrap, and then I just had a scrap silver ribbon that my friend had given me, so I also added that on. It didn't even make its way around the whole entirety of the wreath, but that's okay because it stopped around, 3/4 of the wreath, and I'm fine with that. Whatever ribbon that you have that you think is sparkly and pretty and beautiful, just add it on there. And that's the look we're going for. We're going to go for the blinged out kind of wreath look. Okay, so if you have anything that's sparkly and pretty, shove it on there. Next, we're going to work on our greenery, and we're going to start down at the skinnier part down here, where the ribbon didn't quite make it, because it's not as full as the other part of the wreath. So that is where we're going to start building our wreath from. All right, and so I am going to do my best to get this entire wreath in the camera here, and then I'll show you how we're going to do this. All right, so I want to start with the little picks that I had with the pine cones on and the berries and stuff. All right, so we're going to start at the bottom down here, and we're going to shove them in here, just like that. If you want to glue them in, be my guest. I think I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this guy here and shove that in. Now be careful, because it is going to get stuck on your ribbon, so you have to be mindful of that when you're pushing it in, or you can just trim it down some, whatever you want. All right. Now we have 3 of these, so let's see. We're going to put one the opposite way, this way, and then we'll save the other one. Where'd you go? Oh boy, hiding on me. This one for the middle here. And I'm probably most definitely going to cut this one, because it's going to be way too long if I don't. And they can give you a hard time a little bit sometimes to cut, but if you have a pair of pliers with the snips in the middle, that is what I recommend you using them. They might all fall apart, the pieces that are together, but you can always just glue them all in there. Okay, so I got mine shoved in there. Now I'm just going to take my glue gun, stick my glue gun where I shoved them in the hole, and I'm just going to squirt some glue in there so it stays in there. And then I'm going to arrange this one so it's the same height as the other one over here with the, I always call them dingleberries. I don't know why I call them dingleberries, but dingleberries are a whole nother subject here. But yeah, that's what I always call these things, is dingleberries. So if you hear me say dingleberries, I'm talking about the red berries. All right, so I'm just going to squeeze in some glue there. All right, and then you can start working on the bigger branches here. Now we're probably going to have to cut these apart or pull them apart. They pull apart fairly easily, to be honest with you. The very last one is the one you'll have to cut. But it's not very difficult, so don't worry. All right, so then we're gonna take our flocked branches, and those are the ones we're gonna want next, to put them in around here on the bottom to kind of build this area up a little bit so it looks a little bit more bulky, because it's the skinnier part of the wreath that we're working on. So we want to try to make this look a little bit better. So we're just going to take our flocked branches and we're going to stuff them in places that need a little oomph. And you can bend your branches. Don't be shy. If you need to bend the branch, bend the branch. All right. Okay, now where's that little piece? Here you are, on the floor. We don't belong. Okay, so probably gonna stick this one right there. All right, so there is the beginning of our wreath. I'm sorry you can't see the top because this thing is humongous. All right, so there's the beginning of our wreath, and now we're just going to go around with the little berries, sticking them in the crevices. Every here and there, you know, try to find the empty spaces and shove them in. And you don't want to just put them all in one spot. Remember, you can put them so that they're hanging in the middle of the wreath. You can put them on the outer part of the wreath over here. You don't want them all in one spot, all right? And if you don't like it when you have it in a spot, then switch it up and put it somewhere else until you do like where it is. Okay, that's just one. We got some more here. All right. And be careful when you're pushing these in, because those white branches that we used, the very first thing that we used to put on, they are a bit sharp. So be mindful of that. All right, now we get another one. Out of berries again. I'm knocking my garbage all over the place. All right. Okay. Now, I don't know. I'm not liking that one. There. That's better. All right, now we're going to go move along to something else. We're going to put these smaller berries in. Sometimes these can get stuck together because they're foam, and you just have to pull them apart. Sometimes they fall off. Sometimes a whole glob of them will get stuck together on one stem, which can sometimes get annoying. Okay, there's no way to get that off without it falling apart. And then these also, you want to probably snip these in parts. Come on. There we go. And we want to put our pine cones on too, that have the fake icicles or ice on it. So we're going to want to put those on too, but we're going to work on these berries here. It's all just a matter of finding a spot that you like it in, that you think it looks good in. And I think there's a pretty decent amount of red on here, so I don't want to go too crazy with these berries. Just a couple sprigs here and there I think worked. Okay, so then we're going to start with our icy little branches. Couldn't think of what they were called. And we're going to just stick them in randomly. kind of hard to hold a wreath and find a spot for these. Get off. There's really no right way or wrong way to do this, or right spot to put it in. It's all about where you like it, to be honest. It's all, where do you want it to go? Trying to keep those my focal point here. These 3 pine cones down here. All right, so let me clip some of these off again. And grab some more and clip these. Okay. I'm trying to tuck them under the ribbon, and that will help hold it, but trying to see how to get it under there, it's giving me a hard time. There we go. Okay, I gotta clip some more. There's 6 more of these icicle branches to put in there. We have our pine cones still, and then we also have our, what are they called? Queen Anne's lace also. Okay. Now I'm gonna just start smushing them in this way. Let me get to the top. There we go. Get in there. Gotta use a little bit of muscle to get them in there sometimes. All right, I'm just finishing up with my iced branches here. All right, so there's that. I'm trying so hard to get this all in here so you can see everything I'm doing. All right, so there is that. We're making a mess here. That's okay. Now I want to see, where can I glue these pine cones. Like, this one's pretty chubby. I'm going to glue the skinnier one there. I'm going to glue the chubbier one over there. All right. Can you see that? All right. So let me glue those down. There's that. I'm going to glue this guy right here. And I'm going to glue a little spot right back here. And stick this pine cone back there. Okay. Let's see if we can find a spot for one of these guys, because they're kind of awkward looking. I might want to tuck it behind so it goes like that. I think that's a good spot right there. All right, so I'm just gonna shove a little glue in there. Make sure all the part that's all like got the fake glittery icy part on is on the outside so we can see it. And this is a pretty good spot here, over here for something. I just got to figure out how I want to put it. And don't be afraid, you can move the branches around also. If you're like, ew, that looks stupid there, just move the branches around a little bit. Maybe it'll fit better in the spot that you're looking at. Also, try not to get too much hot glue on the diamond wrap because it does tend to melt. I've used it before and melted a bit of it and kind of screwed up things. All right, so I'm going to stick this guy way at the top here because he's smaller and he seems to fit in. All right, so that guy's going to go right there. Perfect spot for that guy right there. All right, so then I have two more chubbier ones. I'm just trying to space them out evenly. I think right there and right here, like that. Okay, so let me glob up some glue over here. I might have to hold this on for a second or two. Our wreath came together pretty quickly. All right, I think I can let go. Maybe not. I'm gonna pop another glue stick in. Oh, all right. Oh, Jesus, just went down the shirt. Okay, let me get another glue stick. Hold on. And you have to use your chin to push your glue stick in. Yeah, it's always fun. All right. Well, it's going to go better if I just glue it on the bottom, so that's what I'm going to do. It's going to give you troubles. You have to improvise when you have like one hand to do things. All right, there we go. Now it's staying. Now I have one more. I think I will put down here. I want to be careful how I'm putting this in. I don't want it to look like a wiener and two balls here. You know, that's not really a good focal point, you know. So, yeah. Maybe we'll just leave that one off. Oh, wait, let's see if I can tuck it over here. I will do it there, then, I guess. Yeah. Stay there. All right, I'm going to set this down for a minute because I think I've lost the feeling in my hand. And I'm going to grab my Queen Anne's lace. And I'm going to start cutting off the heads of them like this. I don't want to use the leaves with this because I don't want all that green on here. I have enough green on here, I think, for what I like. If you want to put the leaves on yours, by all means, it's your project. You can do whatever you want. Okay, I get that one off. And one more. This one, of course, has to be difficult because it has a sticker on it. There we go. And these I'm definitely going to put a little bit of glue, a little bit of hot glue on these when I shove these into spots to make them stay. And this is just, you know, little accent pieces, ow, that you're going to stick in to try to fill in some more holes. Let me get my glue gun paper in here so I don't make a huge mess on my table. Okay. All right. All right, come on, okay, there's burn number 1. If you enjoy counting the burns that I receive while I'm doing these crafts, that was the official number 1. It would have been a lot more than that by now if I would have glued every single piece into this wreath, believe me. I would have been on burn like 20 by now. And if you're not sure if you like it in a spot, you know what? Just put whatever you're planning on sticking in the spot. If you like it, leave it in. If not, then pull it back out and stick it somewhere else. All right, let's see. We got 3 more that's hanging on to me like a spider web here. All right, so thinking I need 1 over here. Or 1 up here. Maybe 1 up here. 1 over there then. One there. And then I don't know why, but this area is looking like barren to me over here, so I'm going to put 1 here. Just need a little bit of glue. Come on. All right. Now, we just need a ribbon. All right, so let me move this out of my way. Craft wire. Yeah, I'm going to move my glue gun because if I don't, I am going to burn myself alive. So I just move that over here. Get out my wire ahead of time. I'm going to make an extra long piece of wire so that I can not only put it through the ribbon, but I can also use it as my hook to hang it up. All right, now if you're going to make a loop that's smaller to start, like that, and I just literally took it and folded it into itself, okay? And then I'm going to twist it, decide how big do I want the loops to be. I'm thinking that's probably a decent enough size, so I'm going to twist it, and I'm going to make the other loop on the other side, still holding it all together, pinching it together, and then I'm going to make another loop. I don't know how much ribbon I have and how many loops I'll be able to make, but we'll find out in a minute. Ah, that's it. There's the answer to my question. All right. Now find the end of your wire. Stick it through. And this ribbon, just ahead of time, does make a huge mess. The glitter is going to fall off of it like crazy. While it's on the wreath, it's going to be fine. It's not going to really fall everywhere unless you're shaking the wreath around. It should stay on there without making too much of a mess. But while you're making the bow with this wreath, you are going to have fallout all over your clothes, all over your table, and probably all over your floor. So just be aware. All right, now I just need to find where I want to put the bow. I'm thinking I'm going to put it right here. Now I want to push this like that and bring this around the top. And then I'm just going to twirl it around a bunch of times. When it's twirled around enough, then I'm just going to make a little loop on the end. Like this. I'm going to cut off the excess. Oh, look at it, came apart. Shame on you. All right. It's falling. Trying to wind it and hold this thing. All right, and I'm just going to wrap this end on itself. All right, there's my little hook. It should hold it. Now you can straighten out your ribbon a little bit nicer. All right. Ugh. My arms are tired from doing all that. All right. And here is your blinged out wreath. This is wreath number 3. I still have 2 more wreaths to go. I was going to do 4, but then I walked into the store and I found some other items that I thought I could make a cool wreath with. So I have those to make you another wreath. So, sorry, I'm picking glue off my table. So I'm going to be making the next 2 wreaths. And then once I have all the wreaths done, then I am going to upload them to YouTube so that you can see all 5 different holiday wreaths. And it will hopefully give you an idea of a wreath that you can make for your family or yourself or a gift or for Christmas or whenever. I hope you enjoyed this project, and I will be back with wreath number 4. Stay tuned.